What's up, boys? We are back for our Week 11 podcast. We are unfortunately without one of my normal host, which is Chase, but we have two bright spots in the league in Tyson and Zach. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
I like being known as a bright spot. That's a different outlook this week.
You had a good win this week, Tyson. I'll go ahead and throw you a bright spot. But like I was saying, we are without my normal host, Chase, because Chase is unfortunately dead.
Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers to Chase. Do we miss him? I think this will be our best podcast yet without him.
I don't know. I heard that his death was actually compared to 9/11. That was something that I've heard this past week. But
all right, embrace debate. Which do you think was worse, Chase's death or 9/11?
Do I have to have an opinion?
All right, Zach. What about you?
I'm gonna refrain from comment on that one.
All right, might be a safe bet. But yeah, Chase's death. Anything you boys want to say about Chase's death?
Well, he was a great man, but just a bad fantasy player. 4-6 is the record that he leaves behind him. He is survived by Phillip Rivers, Alvin Kamara, and the rest of his lineup. You hate to see it. It's a real tragedy.
Yeah, that's something you hate to see.
I feel like his legacy will be carried on through Curtis Samuel. But again, they don't like to play him very much, so maybe we'll forget about Chase in a few weeks.
That's a great point, Tyson. Maybe we will. All right, so let's just do a quick recap of last week before we do power rankings. Not a lot happened. I mean, I got a pretty good win over Heath. That was much needed for my team. Jamie absolutely throttled Cal. That's embarrassing if you're a Cal. Cal picked him up last week. Yeesh.
Almost tripled his score. And when I say almost, not really tripled his score, but I think really it sounds worse.
But it's almost there. It's good enough. And you take a look at Amelia and Kyle. It's a pretty good matchup. I mean, both teams didn't really need to win. They're pretty much top of the league. So, I mean,
Josh, let me jump in here for a second.
All right.
I forgot to mention we will be having a funeral service for Chase. It'll be probably in a couple weeks. We haven't set on a specific date yet, but
actually, I just got the cards in.
To come.
I just made the cards, Zach. It'll be February 30th, 2019. Okay. That's when we're gonna have the funeral.
That's right. Yeah, we'd like everybody to be there, everyone that's listening, our large podcast audience, and we will be inviting Chase's entire fantasy team, and they will have the honor of lowering his casket into the ground, just so they can let him down one last time.
Oh, that was brutal. Chase, I hope you're not listening to this because that was brutal.
Yeah, Chase, don't listen to this. Not that you could.
At your funeral.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Well, speaking of digging a hole to drop a casket into, let's move on to Digs These Nuts and our beloved deceased leaders game.
Yeah, that was not a pretty game. I really do wish Chase was on so he could talk about it because there was a lot of times in the group message where I could just tell Chase was fuming. And pissed off Chase is beautiful, Chase. I love when Chase gets that pissed off about fantasy. And, God, I wish he had something to say about this week.
Let me just say, Christian McCaffrey had one game over 20 fantasy points this entire season, and then he comes up with 31 when he's playing who? Me. When he's playing me, he has 31 fantasy points. Phillip Rivers had like 13 passing yards in the first half on Sunday. 13, Phillip? And you want to know why? It's because the Oakland Raiders are so damn bad. Every time they got the ball, You knew they were punting. Derek Carr threw the ball away on a 4th down. He just threw it at his O-lineman's feet. That's how little they care about winning. So every time Rivers would get the ball, they're like, oh, we don't got to try to score points. Like, it's so ridiculous, dude. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm only up 6. He's got his kicker left. Maybe Nick Mullins will suck. Or maybe this kicker will suck. Maybe he'll break his leg before the game. You never know. What happens first drive of the game? 50-yard bomb from Robbie Gould. Instantly, I take an L. It is ridiculous. I cannot believe this. I don't even know how much more angry I can get. Like, yeah, if I played Kerryon Johnson and then put Corey Davis in my flex, yeah, I win by like 5 points. If I play my best possible lineup, when I already scored 127, I win by like 5 points. It's getting ridiculous at this point that I can be 3rd in total points scored. I'm averaging 103 points per game. And thank you, Leonard, owned by Tyson Lauk, is averaging 78 points per game. And I only have one more win than him? One more?
Wow.
Kyle is averaging 88 points per game. I'm averaging 103. Kyle has 2 more wins than me. And they want to talk about white privilege? What? This is ridiculous.
Wow. Well, it's good to know Chase has risen from the dead, boys. Chase is officially back. And that was everything I thought it would be. So, wow, Chase, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're alive.
I'll never miss a chance to crap on this team, this Poopgate team.
Yeah. Chase will never die a virgin because his team fucks him more than anybody else.
It's good to be back.
Good.
All you have to do is mention my team, and
Yeah, you really came out of the ground on that one.
Wow, back from the dead.
Back
Phenomenal.
from the dead.
Okay, so anyways, back to our regularly scheduled program. Do you guys want to get into power rankings?
Well, first we got to recap all the games because big win by a team that you've been crapping on a lot, Chase. So would you like to take this over and apologize?
Yeah, okay. Well, I would say Williams playing Cam, so it'd be like that. But hey, I lost to Cam on a tiebreaker.
Yeah, he lost to a team you couldn't even beat, Chase. So.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that was a good week, Tyson. I mean, blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
Yeah, that's a good one. 97 points is a lot.
Hey,
I mean,
hey, look, not sure Adam Humphries being your wide receiver 2 is a consistent recipe for success, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Playing the hot hand, Chase. I'm playing the hot hand.
We'll see what happens.
yeah. I mean, when you look
It's
at the
even more funny that Cam, like, well over half his points came from one guy.
Yeah. And -9 against the Panthers defense, not great. That does not look great. Starting out the week -9 will never help you.
No, I don't know why anyone would ever start the Panthers defense, especially against Big Ben.
Exactly. And I would like
Well,
to
it's not even that Big Ben's great, but I mean, come on. You knew we were going to get torched. Keep in mind, we're still the only team that's given up over 30 points to the New York Giants in the past 2.5 seasons. So what did you think the Steelers were going to do against us?
Yeah. Only Cam could start a kicker that hits the upright 4 times. Only Cam could do that. There is no other GM in our league that could start a kicker that hits the uprights 4 times. Oh.
Only Cam could start a kicker that hit the upright 4 times and still have them score more than his defense.
Yeah, not it's not looking great, Cam. It's not looking great. And then Zach. I've put my cards in your table a lot this year. I've tried to have some faith in the base gods, and every time I do, they let me down. You got absolutely destroyed this week by Aaron. Now, Aaron's a good team. He's probably our consistent number 1, maybe number 2 if you have Amelia number 1. But what the heck, Zach?
Hey, man, my favorite thing in this life is to make you look like an idiot. So every time you pick me, you're going to be wrong.
All right, well, I'll pick you out the rest of the season then. Playoffs for Josh.
And any other? I mean, Josh, you put out a good one.
Yeah.
If you take out your defense, you basically have 100. So,
yeah.
Which is still 3 less points than what I average on the season. I'm 4 and 6. So.
Include that in there. All right. You want to hit power rankings?
Yeah. You guys want me to go first?
Yeah. Since you're back from the dead, let's go ahead and send it you first.
All right. So I got Aaron number 1 still. Amelia 2. Sadly, she's gonna lose this week. I got number 3 is Jamie. 4 is you, Josh. You've taken a big leap. 6 of your last 7. You've proven a lot to me.
I like to hear that.
You've proven that the teams you play against don't score 135 every week. I got Zach at 5. Lackluster performance. Tom Brady is definitely a question mark. 1 passing touchdown in the last 3 weeks.
And he can't move. He forgot how to walk.
Yeah, no, he's not mobile.
He is not a mobile quarterback. There needs to be a handy. He needs to be in a wheelchair when he throws.
So let's see. Oh yeah, see that's how bad it's getting. That I see now. Dak Prescott's in your starting lineup.
Sheesh.
You never want to fall that far.
Never.
Six, I got Kyle, understandably. Heath, a little bit of a step back there for Heath, but I got him 7. Parker 8, me 9. Disclaimer here. I actually shouldn't be 9. We all know I shouldn't be 9. I do have the 3rd most points in the league, but I am putting myself at 9 because I am humble.
Well, you can't put yourself over Parker because he put up 135 on you.
Yeah, that's okay. I got Tyson at 10. You've got yourself out of the bottom of the barrel, Tyson, so congrats. Cam, you are 11. And Cal, you are, by far 12. With Cam, humongous gap. Anything Noah Bailey and Jake Crowder could have ever put out onto the field.
Yeah, it's not a great time to be Cal. I mean,
freshman year Nick, he's above you, man.
Yeah.
You are by far last.
I mean, you're number 1 on the SAT board right now.
Oh.
Yeah, think about it like that.
Yep. At least you're number 1.
If
you're number 1 in some power ranking.
If we say we all took the SAT, where do you think Cal would rank in scores? I mean, he's probably maybe top 6.
Top 6?
Actually, I don't know. I mean, we can automatically. I'd put him above Aaron and Cam instantly.
I'd put him above Aaron, Cam, Kyle.
Oh, we should do a SAT power ranking.
So he's definitely top 10. He's definitely top 10.
Quick fire SAT power rankings. Ready? Who's your number 1?
Me, and Heath.
Oh, that's a hot take. I'd probably go.
Not in that order, but I'd say it'd be us 3.
Yeah, I mean, I put Zach probably number 1.
Well, considering
man.
Yeah, Zach probably be number 1, and then me and Heath. I'd say we're probably the 3 school smartest people in here.
I've got Aaron at number 2.
You've got Aaron at number 2?
Yep.
Maybe it's street smarts. If I ever needed somebody to tell me a useless 2K button that nobody in the world ever knows, he'd be number 1 on that. But
hey,
man, Aaron,
if I needed somebody to help me rob somebody, Aaron, absolutely.
Aaron is low-key smart, man, and he's going to be mad that I'm telling everybody, but don't you boys forget, he was in the AP class with me.
Yeah, but how did he do in that AP class?
Well, he did get kicked out one time because he kept saying bet, and it was bothering Mr. Kim so much. And Mr. Kim said, Aaron, if you say bet one more time, you're out of here. And you know what Aaron said?
Bet. Oh.
Zach, you forget that's the 2nd time he got kicked out of Mr. Kim's class for saying bet. He also did that during honors bio the year before.
Oh
my God.
What a legend.
He is a legend. I am basing this off the fact mostly because I know me, Heath, and Zach took a lot of AP classes in high school. So.
Oh, I took a lot of AP classes.
I also took a lot of AP classes.
I got a lot of 1s.
Okay.
But I still took them.
Actually, I feel like, Tyson's probably in my top 5 too, but definitely not you, Josh. I know you're a dumbass, but.
What the fuck?
All right, bottom 3. Who's your bottom 3?
Oh, it's Cam and Kyle and Jamie.
Jamie? That's true. He's an athlete. He's never had to do his own work.
Hey, this is Jamie in class. All right, guys, we're gonna do popcorn reading. Me breezing through the first page. All right, Jamie. Tonight we're writing on the page. And he's like, all right, Heath, your turn, Heath. And then Heath breezed through his page. All right, Jamie, your turn. And
oh my God.
Jamie's like the worst reader of all time.
Jamie's got those basketball smarts.
Yeah, congrats on scoring a career high 12. Those are some pretty deep threes. Best player to wear number 30 to ever come out of North Carolina. I'm gonna say it.
Hey, that's definitely not a hot take. I think we can all agree upon that.
Yeah, I'm standing by the take.
Heath would definitely agree on that.
Heath would definitely agree.
Number 1 Steph Curry fan, Heath would still agree on that.
I just agree with the fact that Josh said they were pretty deep threes. I mean, I think one of them was from the corner, so that's pretty much as deep as it can get.
That's true.
That is what she said, correct. Alright, anyways, moving on. How about you guys go through your power rankings real quick?
Alright, Chase, we actually have the same exact lineup.
Right.
Aaron, Amelia, Jamie, Josh, Zach, Kyle, Heath, Parker, Chase, Tyson, Cam, Cal, if you wanted to hear it again, because that is the exact same lineup I had.
Alright, sweet. Zach and Tyson, what do you guys have?
I have the exact same, except I have Amelia in first, based solely on record.
You got her
Yeah.
on top of Aaron?
She's directly on top of Aaron.
Sweet.
I feel bad having her under Aaron. Nobody deserves that.
Yeah, you guys to put Amelia under Aaron, that's pretty rude of you guys. You should really consider the repercussions.
I'll do better.
Yeah. Tyson, what do you got? You said you're winging this, so
I'm
love to hear this.
I'm following the lines of Zach here. I'm going with Amelia first, and
All
then
right.
I have OBJ as second. He's got a strong lineup. He can pretty much outscore anybody. Probably not me though. And then
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to give the Bruisers a high place.
All right.
I don't know, because it's gonna have to go Jamie, then Zach, and then Josh with the come up these past few weeks.
Last 7, but it's
I mean, they weren't all great wins.
but
They were on
still
accident.
7.
A few of them were on
And-
accident.
And I averaged 98 points for those last 7 weeks. But it's
Yeah, but that's not
continue,
100.
continue.
So
Yeah, but continue.
and then
It's not 103 either.
yeah, it's true. I'm actually gonna put Heath above Kyle.
Okay.
I just
At
don't
4?
like Kyle's team. No,
You're putting
Heath is 6.
Yeah, and Kyle would be 7.
Kyle 7.
Oh, do you have Zach at 4?
Yeah.
Okay. I missed.
Yeah.
I zoned out for. I died.
Yeah, you just weren't paying attention. It's fine. I understand. I mean, you're kind of discombobulated.
Yeah, he's under the weather. We can't.
Yeah, I mean, he did just come back to life. He was
Yeah.
dead
Yeah,
no
you
more
gotta give
than
me a break.
15
You think
minutes
Jesus
ago.
was like at the top of his game right when he came out of that tomb? I don't think so.
Honestly, I think he might have been at the top of his game right when
Yeah.
he came up.
That's
too.
true, but
I
this,
think
see,
I
this,
might-
this
I
is
think
me
I might
admitting
take
I'm
this
not
up too.
him.
Right on his A game.
Well, that's a good thing. No one should admit they're
Oh, I'm
Jesus.
certainly
because
not. Absolutely not.
That's humble of you. I like that. But
Takes a
sadly,
humble guy
that
to
still
admit
leaves
that.
you below Kyle. So
I'm at
Speaking of humble, what are the rest of your rankings, Tyson?
I'm gonna go with Chase at 10, and then
7. Wait, you have me below you?
no, 9. Sorry, 9 and 9.
Okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
See, this is what happens when you don't write them down. Good God, is it really that hard?
Ooh,
Well, yeah, it is. And then I'm gonna be number 10,
okay.
and
Alright.
then I'm gonna go ahead and give Cam the 11 spot after a devastating loss this week. And I'm not even going to name my last person because I don't think they are even on the power rankings list. So, because there's not a lot of power involved in their team. So,
That's very true.
That's a good point. Good
Might as
point.
well just send him an SAT like prep.
Yeah.
I'm
Can we
pretty sure
do
my
that?
mom got me like a huge like 500-page one when I was in high school.
Oh my God, Chase! Please, dear God, send it to him.
When I go home for Thanksgiving break.
Yeah,
I'll
could
be
you
able to look out
imagine
for
if he gets like the email, he's got mail, he's like thinking old Daddy Hubbard sent him like a good little like good snack box, and he goes up to get it, and it's SAT prep.
Oh my gosh, that would be great. Okay, so we got our power rankings in. Things haven't changed a lot in the past couple weeks, but that doesn't mean as we come down. We're now the last 3 weeks of the regular season, and the playoff preview is looking pretty intense. Before the show started, I was still dead, but they were talking about it. They figured out that 9 people could finish with 7 wins still. And that would leave 9 teams at 7 and 6. 9 teams above 500, meaning 3 of them would miss the playoffs. Now, while it's not likely all 9 do, there's a good chance at least 7 do. And so because of that, we're going to start dividing up these teams into certain groups. We have our locks. We actually only have one lock, and that would be Amelia.
Good job, Amelia.
Yeah, so good job, Amelia. 8 and 2, definitely making the playoffs. You're basically, actually, you.
could she? It's possible that she might still not make the playoffs, though, isn't it?
Nah, there's
No, there's no
At
way.
8 and 5?
8 and 5. Yeah, there's no way.
yeah, there's no way 6 other teams would get 8 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Dang,
Yeah,
I'm
But,
impressed.
so yeah, she's
Early in
locked
the
in.
season.
She actually does need to win 2 more to lock up the bye from her division because Jamie's 2 games behind her, but he does have the tiebreaker with points.
Yeah.
So she can't. So 1 more won't do it for her because 1 more would have her tied with Jamie at worst, but he will have the tiebreaker there. Let me think here. So win and in. So they're just kind of guys like there's a good chance they'll get in unless things kind of collapse. You got Aaron, Jamie, Zach, and Josh. All these guys either have 6 or 7 wins. It Maybe one of them might miss it, maybe, if they have bad luck, but most likely all of them are making it in. A little bit of help category, you got Kyle and Heath. Kyle's at 6 wins, but he just has so little points that if someone below him ends up tying with him, he could be in trouble. Heath, he's at 500 right now. He needs to win 2 of these last 3.
You can also throw Parker in that mix.
Yeah, Parker could be in that mix as well because he does have a good bit of points. And then a lot of help. It's really just me there. If I win out, I'm going to get in because I am 3rd in total points, in case you guys didn't know.
But with your schedule, it's not looking pretty.
Yeah, exactly. So I will need a lot of help because my schedule is not good. I have Amelia, who has the best record, then Jamie and Zach to close it out.
Yeah, that's not looking great. You can hope for 1, maybe 2, but it's not looking great for you, Chase.
Yeah, not with my luck at all.
No.
So yeah, that wraps. And then out is definitely out for sure is Tyson, Cal, and Cam. So you guys got any comments, Zach, Josh, Tyson, on the playoff stuff?
It's looking pretty good.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah, it does not look good. I don't know what you mean by looking good. I'm definitely at a possibility to take the SAT.
Yeah,
I'm really
that sucks.
just hoping that I end up playing someone that's not in the race right now. And as of right now, I would end up playing Chase. And he does end up scoring a lot of points, but he talks a lot of shit, so that might make him unlucky against me.
Yeah, Chase, the reason you lost yesterday was definitely you getting cocky at like 3 o'clock.
Time out here. I was cocky at 1:30.
Yeah. Yeah, the second like Tyreek Hill scored with like 17 seconds in the game, you're like, yep, already confirmed dub. Yep, suck on these, Parker. I'm going to destroy
In the
you.
first half of the 1 o'clock games, Eric Ebron had 3 touchdowns and Tyreek Hill had 2. I was literally on top of the world. Like,
Yeah.
45
You're saying,
minutes
I'm a
into
guaranteed
season.
championship. You guys have been sleeping on me. And then Parker came back and humbled you.
Yeah, he did.
And it's not easy to humble Chase, but Parker did it.
He
Credit to you,
Johnny
Parker.
me.
He Johnny Sims you. Big time.
Zach,
Before we continue into the next segment, I just have a question.
right.
Is it once you're in the playoff bracket, like you might win it all? Are you a little upset that no one really cares because everyone's more concerned about the consolation ladder and like who's gonna win
No,
the
that's a
prize
good
of
point. Like, if you're in
Hey,
taking the SAT?
I will take my money quietly and not even care.
No. We don't mean the money winner. We mean, like, say you're like the 5 seed. So right now, Zach's the 4 seed, you're the 5 seed. Say you lose that game, your consolation games mean nothing. But
Yeah,
those
oh
other
yeah,
consolation games
I
mean
do
everything.
not care.
yeah.
I will be sitting pretty and happy, not having to worry about me taking the SAT. I don't care how this season like plays out for me. Like if I win the championship, great. It's not looking great for me. I'm not really too worried about that, but that'd be a good plus. As long as I don't have to sit in that stupid room in Ale Brown for 4-5 hours, I will be happy.
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm just gonna sit back and watch and laugh. Hopefully, I mean, if things go bad, I might be in that race. Who knows?
Yes,
Yeah,
Zach,
I mean, it
I
could
meant to
turn
ask
bad
you,
on all of us.
Do you have any concerns now that you have an old man at your? So now you're stuck between an old man and like what a light-skinned Jamarcus Russell at quarterback. So like, what are your options here?
Well, I'm actually very scared.
Are you actually concerned?
I'm terribly concerned.
From
Dak
weeks-
Prescott is my starting QB. How can I not be concerned?
From weeks 10 to 14,
Dak,
Tom Brady-
I'm going to take 16 shuffle steps before I throw this screen pass. Prescott, Dak, I can't even run 3 yards without tripping over my own feet. I fumble it, but I pick it up again because I'm Dak Prescott.
Zach,
and Tom Brady.
Dak, I fumble while running with the ball and nobody touching me, Prescott.
Yeah, I have
It's
the
very not
stat saved from weeks 10 to 14. Tom Brady's QB 16 in fantasy over like the last 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know why, but all of a sudden, New England, who's been famous for years for these short little, Tom Brady will pass it like half a yard. Boom. Somebody run in, passing touchdown. Well, they decided to run the ball nonstop this year. Everybody's running it except for Tom Brady.
I swear to God, the Patriots have 12 running backs. Like every single week, they pull out another running back that I've never even heard of before. Like, it makes no sense.
Like,
They're
I'm
throwing-
just trying to think of guys they've had in the past 2 years. Like, let's just list them off here. Deion Lewis, James White, Jeremy Hill, Sony Michel, Cordrell Patterson, who was a running back his entire career, Kenyon Barner. Like, how many people?
Cordell Patterson was a wide receiver.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Wide receiver, and then changed to a running back.
Oh, Rex Burkhead. Like, how many of these people do they?
And they got that. What's that new guy's name that I can't even say? It's really weird. There's some help on here, guys.
I'm not going to be able to help you. I don't know. I don't ever keep track of New England running backs because they're there for 2 weeks and then they never show up again.
Oh yeah. Not to mention, who did they put in the fourth quarter? Hoyer. They put Hoyer in last week. Are you kidding me? Brian Hoyer?
Here's the quarterback rating of Patriots quarterbacks last week. Brian Hoyer, 95.8. Julian Edelman, 91.7. Tom Brady, 70.
If that's your goat, could be me.
Unbelievable. I mean, washed. Tom Brady is washed. He's up for trade. He's on the board. I'll take a 14th string fullback for him. Jeez. And he's projected for 0 points this week. Unbelievable.
That's how washed he is.
Yeah.
He's washed, man. They don't even think he'll score a single point. And you know what? I think they're right.
Yeah. I mean, it is their bye week, so.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I don't see your point.
Josh pulled a Cam and Jamie.
Cut that part out.
I was letting people know.
He pulled a Cam and Jamie right there.
No, I got the joke. I was letting people know. They're going to be confused. Why is Tom Brady at 0?
Well, actually, you pulled a Jamie. If you pulled a Cam, then like 30 minutes later in the show, you would have been like, Tom Brady scored 0 this week. Alright, anyway, so moving on to what do we talk about next? Okay, so we were kind of thinking about this yesterday because we got the news that Le'Veon Bell will not be playing at all this year.
What a bum. What a bum.
Great pick by Josh. Thank you. After numerous reports all year that Le'Veon Bell, he was going to report, it just might be like week 3 or 4. And week 3 or 4 came around, they're like, all right, it's looking like 6 or 7. So I was like, all right, whatever, I'll just keep him. 6 or 7's rolling around. He'll definitely be there by week 9. Week 9 comes around, still a no-show. And finally still a no-show. That is just why. That's got to be like the worst pick of all time.
Holding the bag of poop.
You are.
This
Glad
guy.
I got rid of that. Le'Veon Bell has really gone around our league. What a whore. He's gone to like every single team. He's a fantasy league whore.
That's so true. And it got us thinking actually that the whole Le'Veon Bell situation. What are some of the worst draft picks in like our whole fantasy career history? And Zach and I were talking, and Zach, you want to talk about your absolute worst one that I'll never forget?
Oh yeah. This one by far has got to be the worst of mine of all time. And that'll be Tom Brady this year. What a freaking joke. Are you kidding me? Tom Brady, the number 1 fantasy quarterback since he's been born. And what does he do this year? Freaking poops the bed. I mean, absolutely disappointing numbers from him. Oh, man. Other than that, Derrick Rose. Every rose has its thorns. And my rose had, everything he had was torn.
Yeah.
It was bad. I thought D Rose coming back, vintage form, having a great preseason. Oh, that came back and tore his other ACL. So
like 3 games in.
Yeah, bad time. Bad.
Yeah, that one was rough. That was our first season ever of fantasy basketball, and Zach was so happy to take him, but that obviously didn't turn out well. And Josh, Bell wasn't the only time you came up on the list I thought of. Let us never forget your first season playing fantasy football, 2015. Here I am going to the draft recap now. We're all picking our teams. All's fun and games. I thought it was a little iffy taking Jonathan Stewart, but I thought it was a little iffy that Nick took Jonathan Stewart in the 3rd round. But then you kind of outdid him by taking Graham Gano in the 7th round.
Everyone wants to crap on me for that pick, but he was still like my team's highest scorer that year. That was statistically the best year of his career. I looked like a genius at the end of the year.
I mean, he was position ranked 2 for kickers that year, but regardless, I don't know how that makes you look like a genius.
I had the 2nd best kicker in the league, and nobody else did. So
Yeah, that was an all-time bad pick, and it was hilarious. And,
I underestimate the own power of my own brain sometimes too.
yeah. Some other ones, Zach took Jordy Nelson last year very early.
Very early.
Big mistake.
Yeah, and I guess just one more to leave it off. 2 seasons ago, I took Jamal Charles in the second round. Jamal Charles had 1 touchdown the entire season. That was all-time bad pick by me.
Yeah, I gotta think Le'Veon Bell's the worst just because he's sitting out. He's literally sitting at home watching football. He's tweeting about the Steelers-Panthers game. Thank you, Le'Veon, for that.
Yeah.
But
nope.
nope.
That's like such a slap in the face.
I know.
With other guys, you're like, they're trying their hardest, they just suck. Or like, okay, they got injured. Le'Veon's just being a dick about it.
Yeah, I'm glad his shoes are going to Goodwill. I'm glad the whole team is just taking them and each sharing a shoe.
Yep. So there have been some really bad draft picks over the years. The reason we do have Tyson and Zach on today is for a very big reason. Something that's been looming large over the league the past couple weeks.
Weeks.
Poopgate.
I've been waiting to hear about Poopgate for weeks, and neither will say a thing.
And
so
now, do you guys want to talk about this? Do you guys want to finish off the podcast with it? Do you guys want to do it after we predict this upcoming week or before?
Ooh.
I think we should do it at the end, Zach.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so
We should leave the looming to their minds.
It feels a little bit forced if we do it right now. I think got to let it develop for just a little bit longer.
You gotta let it simmer.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into predictions, this actually reminds me. So Cal's not only the worst team in the league, he's actually the worst guest we've had predict games as well.
He is the worst. You
Every
want me to
guest
rank
we've
them real
had-
quick?
Yeah, rank them real quick for us.
All right, so Chase, you are number 1 on the board. You've gone 34 and 26 with your picks. I am second with 33 and 27, so I'm 1 game behind you. Zach, best week of all time, going 6 and 0. Only player to do that. Next closest is Cam, who went 4 and 2. Parker also went 4 and 2. Aaron went 3 and 3. Heath went 2 and 4. Jamie went 2 and 4. Tyson went 2 and 4. And Cal went 1 and 5.
Oof.
That's just like, I just don't understand how someone could, like I said, like that week was a good week. Chase, we both went 5 and 1, and Cal goes 1 and 5.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know
the
how
favorite one, as long as he picks the favorite every single time, he wins. He gets more than 1 win.
Yeah, how do you mess last week up? Because now that I'm looking at it, like you knew Jamie was gonna be. Did he pick himself?
He did pick himself.
Okay.
I did talk him into picking himself
Well, there's
by
his first
saying, if
mistake.
you don't bet on yourself, who will? And Cal was like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to bet on myself.
Okay, that's true. I'll give him. Nah, I still give him. A
What was
pass.
his 1 win?
His 1 win was me.
So, well, good job, Josh. You should have
So he
lost.
bet
You should
against
make him
me.
go
Good to
loseless.
know.
Yeah, I should have. Just to show him up.
Yeah, that's very true. But yeah, so Kyle, just keep on doing you, man. You are just so good at not being good. At everything fantasy related.
Yeah, it's not a great look by Cal.
So we're looking forward to some of these games this week. Zach, you want to give us a take on your game against Cal?
Well, I think that looking at this preview, I've got some pretty tough matchups. I've got a lot of my players are playing some pretty good defenses.
Right.
But I'm playing Cal this week. So I'm going to go ahead and pick myself. I don't think much more needs to be said.
It's hilarious that I'm looking at this preview and the only check mark he has is the advantage as quarterback.
Yeah. And it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. So that's how you know you've got a poop show for quarterbacks over there, Zach.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick versus Dak Prescott. I mean, what is this? Monday Night Football?
Dude, that Monday night game for you is going to go crazy, though. Kareem Hunt, Robert Woods, and Cooks. And your kicker. That game's going to be like 100 to 100.
Yeah,
It's gonna
definitely
be
bet.
awesome.
Definitely
It's
bet
gonna be
the over.
electric.
It's funny because Zach is going to win the fantasy game before Monday Night Football.
So if Zach is beating him before Monday with
You
like
gotta
5
sit
of
him
his
all.
players playing, Cal. Yeah, you got to sit him out.
Yeah, okay.
Smooth
I will
out.
with that.
Hey, good news for you, Zach. Cooper Cup's down, and now you have Cooks and Woods all to
Alright.
yourself.
Well, I mean, on one hand, that is good, but on the other hand, with no Cooper Cup, well, let me
2
say
weeks
this way.
ago, whenever I played you.
With Cooper Cup, Woods has a 25% target share and Cooks has a 23%. Without Cooper Kupp in the lineup, Woods is still 25 and Cooks is still 23%. So didn't really help much last time.
Yeah, last time he went down. Playing me, thank God for that.
Yeah, but good news is that Josh loses one of his good receivers for the rest of the year. So hate to see it.
I thought the base guys were all about positivity. I'm just not feeling it.
That's why I said good news.
He said hate to see it too.
Hate to see it.
It was a positive take on the side.
It's really sad. Really sad. Hate to see it.
Yeah,
but,
thank you. I hate to see it too.
Yep.
But so I'm assuming you're gonna take yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad if I will say Cal, like, if you lose before the Monday night game starts, when probably like your 3 best players play, I'd say. Like, true? Maybe even your 4 best if you count your kicker. Like,
yeah.
Before all of them play, if he loses before then, I don't know. That's pretty bad. Because Zerline, look, the 5 weeks he's played, he's gotten double digits 4 of the 5 times. He's actually is a beast.
Actually is.
Yeah, so
confirmed.
I'm going Zach, like, undoubtedly.
Yeah.
I bet my entire life's worth on this.
Yeah, I'm putting $20 on Zach. Not actually. Not actually. But Zach's gonna win. Tyson,
Yeah, you're definitely right. There's no way that Cal can come up from a 19-point deficit. That's the line that it's given right now. But also, it doesn't look like Cal's going to play all 9 players. So I don't really know what's going on with his team at all. So I just don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, okay, so clean sweep. We're all taking Zach. Tyson, so now you tell us about your game this week. Be an interesting one.
Before I want to get into my game, we have a sponsorship this week, a sponsored advertisement, make us all a little bit of money.
All of us money?
All of us.
All of us money, okay.
Well, we'll have to see. I'm going to get most of the share.
We'll record that, all of us. We got that recorded.
So the advertisement this week is LL Bean. We're going to be advertising bean boots and just the amazing comfort and durability that they provide. And also, Heath, give me $100 and they can be yours.
Wow. How do you turn them down that sale?
I know. It's an obvious win-win for everyone. This week I'm actually playing Heath, and it does not look good for myself.
It does not. I'm not going to lie to you. I was looking at it earlier, and I was like, all right, let's see if Tyson can get to 2 wins. And I'm just looking at it, and I keep looking at it, and it's not looking good. Starting Ito Smith as your second best back, and I was looking at your bench. I was like, come on, there's got to be somebody. And I don't know.
Because everyone's on their bye week. All of my backup players are on their bye week.
Maybe Aguilar. Maybe that could be the only person I would say have over Ito. But even still, against that Saints defense now, it's pretty good.
Ito's playing against Dallas, so that's the only upside is it's Dallas. And honestly, I think I'm going to take a loss this week. I'm not doing very well with keeping winning streaks. I'm more of a losing streak kind of person.
I would confirm.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, that was kind of hurtful, but I'm going to have to give it to Heath this week. He's got a strong team. I do not. And we're just going to have to learn from our mistakes this week and hope for the best.
Yeah, Tyson, you said it best about meant for losing streaks. I'm going Heath this week too.
I'm also going Heath. Zach, what about you?
Yeah, and this is actually our first ever annual Battle of the Bean Boots.
Wow.
True.
So
the Bean Boot Bowl.
Whoever wins this week gets the Bean Boots, which is super exciting. It's good to have some high stakes, really lay something on the line. And with that said, I think in a week we're going to see Heath styling in some fresh new bean boots because he's going to win.
Hey,
because they're only $100.
If we can see a rematch for the Battle of the Bean Boots in the playoffs, the loser playoffs.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Battle of the Bean Boots and Battle of the SAT.
A lot of titles going up this year. Hopefully that's a weekly award that comes into effect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Speaking of weekly awards, what is my weekly award for the week? I had something, I completely forgot it though.
I have something for you.
All right.
Well, I'm in this class. It's dendrology, and we have to learn a bunch
That's
of trees. Listen, I'm going somewhere with this.
Can you say the title of the class again?
Dendrology.
Dendrology.
Mhm.
I've never even heard of that word before.
So we have to learn how to identify a bunch of different trees and plants, and one of the ways that we have to identify them is by acorn. And I actually have a few with me here on my desk.
I have no clue where he's going with this.
Chase, I've got one here. This is the acorn of a white oak. That would be Quercus alba. And if you were here, I would give it to you because your award is Nut of the Week.
Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Chase, you really earned this one.
That was good, yeah, Chase.
I mean, you waltzed into Monday night feeling high as could be, and you came crashing down to earth just like this white oak acorn did after 1 year of development on the tree. Except this acorn could grow into a tree, and your team, it's only going to grow in the other direction, the negatives.
Yeah,
So
Man.
that was good stuff.
It hurts to hear, but that was a good award.
That was a good award. And especially in the month where there shall be no nuts.
Oh, hey, breaking news. This is along the lines of, this is probably of interest to Zach in terms of his quarterback situation. Week 10 update. Throughout 10 weeks, highest off-rate target throws in 2018. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Number 5. Now, this is a weird one. Number 5, Aaron Rodgers. 19.4% of his throws have been off target. Number 4, Josh Rosen. 20%. Number 3, Mitchell Trubisky. 21.5%. Number 2, Sam Darnold. 21.7%. Number 1, also at 21.7%. Would you guys like to take a guess?
I'm going to go ahead and say Dak.
No.
Yeah.
Tom Brady?
Yes.
Tom Brady.
Holy
Tom Brady and Sam
cow.
Darnold are tied for the most off-target throws this season.
surprise me. I mean, I could not be less shocked. I thought there's something exciting. I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah, so thoughts and prayers with Zach. Let's see, what game are we moving on to next? Zach, I guess, did we already ask you? Let's see, did I ask you about yours? Yes, I did. I asked Tyson about his, so now give us yours on your, the roommate rival. Your roommate
Over here?
rival, Josh, yeah.
Oh.
You and Parker.
Well, it's going to be a tough one.
Wait, never mind. Oh, no, we can't do that one yet.
Yeah.
Yep, can't do that one yet. Can't do that one yet.
Ooh, you're right.
I thought that was our special game, but all right, whatever. We'll just kick that one to the end.
Yeah. We'll save that one for a special moment.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just do Aaron and Cam next, because I think we all know how this one's gonna go.
Yeah, this one should be a pretty easy one.
Yeah. I mean, I just am so, I know Mitch has actually been putting up a lot of fantasy points lately, but, it's still, when I look at it and I'm like, well, that's his best player, that's not normal, feels like it shouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah, even though the Bears are, one of the best teams in the NFC, you still look at the name and you're just like, I don't know about fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see, Devin Funchess is your wide receiver 1, and, ooh,
That's
I don't know
not
about that one, Chief.
Chief, that ain't it.
Yeah, Devin Funchess in the last 3 games, 2 points, 4 points, 3 points.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, I watch him every week. And then whereas Aaron has Todd Gurley and OBJ, so
One of those players will probably do pretty good.
yeah. Can we just give a shout out to OBJ here? OBJ has been putting up serious numbers lately, all while having a Make-A-Wish kid throwing him the ball. It's truly a heartwarming story.
Yeah, it's really brave what he's doing.
They managed to do this week in and week out.
It sure is brave of that insurance salesman to get out there every week and suit up and just chuck Pigskin around. Take hits. Yeah, big time.
It's either, screw it, Eli down there somewhere. He just throws it straight up in the air and hopes OBJ catches it. Or he throws it 10 yards backwards to Saquon and has Saquon have to juke out 6 guys. Because
just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah. It's one option or the other when it's the Giants, but shout out to OBJ for continuing to ball out. All in all, yeah, I'm definitely taking Aaron here. His
Yep.
team has just been scoring insane amounts.
Yep, I'm taking Aaron. There's not much to say about this matchup. Should be pretty easy win for Aaron.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tyson.
Yep. I agree. It's not one of those things that you see every day where all three of his wide receivers are projected over 10 points.
Yeah, no, that's actually very impressive. You really
Getting
do.
reliable wide receivers is pretty hard, and Aaron has done it pretty well along with Todd Gurley.
Also, shout out to Aaron for always making sure. Like, I feel like Aaron's memory is not the best, but he always makes sure he remembers anytime someone said something slightly negative. Like, he made all
I
those.
said something like week 1. He'd be texting about it now. Yeah, Jay. Yeah, Josh. How do you feel about that? Suck my dick, brother.
Yeah, like I always said was. Because at the time he made the trade for OBJ hadn't been putting up a lot of points. So we go, I don't know. Just because Eli hasn't been that great. Like, 2 months later, all we're hearing about, hey, what was y'all saying about OBJ?
Huh? Glad Aaron could get that out.
Yeah. Okay, so now, let's see. What game do we have next?
I say we do the pretty big game next, Chase. Pretty
Oh.
big game next. You and Amelia. How's this one sitting in the household?
I'm pretty confident I'm gonna win this one. Actually, I do have written proof, or maybe it was proof over the phone. Can't remember. I have proof that she said she thinks I'm gonna beat her this week.
Whoa. Wow.
You hate to hear that.
Yeah. No, I mean.
Wow. She's expecting you to beat her this week? Did I?
Chase.
Wow.
We talked about this.
Is this Jamie? I thought this was Chase.
She thinks I'm gonna beat the shit out of her.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, Amelia. Amelia, if you need any help, you can always
This is a
call me. My phone line's
family-friendly podcast, and we don't need to hear about the things that you guys are into.
open. Yeah. Amelia, call me at any time if you need help. Anytime.
Josh's phone is always open.
Anytime.
No, I do think because it's like do or die time for my team, and you think like maybe
As you said,
eventually
you need to win out. You need to win the next 3.
I have to win the next 3, and so these start sit decisions. I really can't talk. That's all I
Chase,
said.
you're handicapped.
You say start and shit decisions? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because say all right. Last week I had Crow and Coleman in. They had 5 points and 8 points, whereas Corey Davis and Kerryon Johnson had 18 each. So now I put the 2 of them in, and they won't go off, but Crow and Coleman on my bench will.
Yeah, starting Crowell over Carry-On was a bold start-sit decision. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna start Kerryon this week still because maybe our run defense will be good. I don't know. Yeah, actually, good idea there. We'll just think about.
That's just funny to hear you say it out loud.
Well, the way I'm thinking about it is we'll go up like 30 to 10, fourth quarter roll around. You know whose time to shine it is then? Stat Padford. It's
That's
Stat
true.
Padford's time to shine when the fourth quarter rolls around and his team is down 20.
That's true.
So they might just be putting up passing numbers. Don't know yet. I'm going to have to keep thinking about it. But I do think I'm going to win this week. I think eventually things will start to work in my favor. What about you guys?
I don't know, Chase. I'm not gonna. I bet on Amelia more to lose than I have to win. She's proved me wrong almost every single time. So I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to bet against her again because she's proven me wrong. So I might send it with Amelia. Now it's gonna be close because obviously that Monday night game is going to matter in this matchup. So that'll.
Yeah, definitely.
You got an extra day to be sweating.
Yeah, sadly.
So
I've already lost twice this season because of a Monday night game.
So you need to win. It's a must-win. I trust you as an owner, but I think I'm going Amelia this week.
Yep. What about you guys?
Well, I think it's going to be really close. What it comes down to for me is if you look at Amelia's her flex player, which is the National Domestic Abuse Hotline, that player is projected for 1-800-799-7233 points. Again, that's 1-800-799-7233 points. Amelia, it's a good call to put in this flex player. We'll just call him Dom for short. So I think Amelia takes it this week, even though there's a high probability of Chase beating her.
Oh my god. There's tears poured down my face, man. Oh God. All right.
Understandable. We gotta respect that decision right there.
All right. I don't even know who you picked. I got so lost at it. Who'd you pick, Zach?
I picked Amelia.
You picked Amelia. All right.
All right. So what do you think, Tyson?
I think that the only high percentage in this matchup is the amount of people that in our group chat that aren't going to understand that joke.
Yeah.
What joke?
Yeah. There was no Amelia. There was no joke. Chase, no joke was made there. Don't look any more into that number.
I'm going to give it up to Amelia this week because I feel like as you get lower into her lineup, they're just gonna score better than Chase's second half of his lineup with Sammy Watkins and Travis Kelce.
And Tariq Cohen's looking like the real deal. Like he
Yeah,
really
he actually is. He's been playing really well. So that's gonna be a close matchup, but I think I'm gonna give it to Amelia this week.
Okay.
Everyone betting against Chase. How does that make you feel, Chase?
I do best when my back's against the wall.
Does it make you feel violent?
Does it make me want to hit something?
All right. Oh.
All right. This would actually be the second year in a row Amelia knocks me out of the playoffs. If she beats me.
Yeah. It's not great. Not great.
All right, so we got 2 games left.
One
So
game
I think
a lot bigger than the others, I think.
one game's way bigger than the other one. So I think everybody knows where we're going with this second to last game.
I'm on the edge of my seat. Who are you saying?
You and Parker.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured you were doing.
Yeah, that's
You got
not quite
that
the big
Kyle
game.
James 66 matchup. Let's not touch that yet. So let's go to Parker's.
Yeah, we
Well-
got you and Parker. You guys have both been putting up serious points.
Yeah,
Christian
big
has
week
been-
for both of us.
Christian has been a lot of the Panthers' offense lately. Wentz
Yeah.
is putting up numbers. Aaron Jones has been huge. Andy has Stephon Diggs back. I actually think I'm going to pick Parker this week.
Yeah, but if you look at it, every single person on this team is playing good defenses. Like Carson Wentz playing against the Saints, Joe Mixon playing against Baltimore, the number 1 defense in the league.
When have the Saints ever been a good defense?
Well, they're better this year.
Are they?
I would argue they are.
I'm pretty sure they're not.
In recent games, they've been playing pretty well.
Did you see?
Yeah.
I mean, they did play against that awful Bengals team, and where they looked really good, where they had like a 80-yard pick right before half, just so they could give Drew Brees another 8 more seconds to throw a touchdown. So credit to them for that. Joe Mixon playing against the number 1 run defense in the league, Baltimore. Then you got, I was gonna say Galladay against Carolina's defense, but that was gonna be dumb. Stephon Diggs playing against the Bears defense. I don't know. I'm feeling okay. The only thing that sucks is 3 of my starting wide receivers are out. Cooper Kupp gone for the year, AJ Green out a couple more weeks, and Josh Gordon on bye. So that does suck. My team's not fully there yet. I'm not planning on starting Christian Kirk, but it's not looking great. I do trust my team. James Conner, David Johnson have been balling. Jared Goff going against that paper-thin Kansas City defense. So I don't know. It's going to be close. I'm going to wait and pick mine last. Y'all go before me.
I'm still picking Parker.
All right. I'm okay with
I'm gonna take. I'm taking Josh on this one.
that. Wow.
Okay.
My decision is based off of the defenses. If Josh plays a defense, then I'm picking Parker. But if
There
he
will be no
doesn't,
defense started. That's a guarantee.
then I will be picking Josh.
There will be no defense. I can promise you that. Yeah, it's tough. I think I'm going to go myself, too. Just because it's a must-win week. I got to pull it out.
Okay.
If my team comes through for me.
Well, hey, if you don't believe in yourself, Josh, no one will.
Beautiful quote, Zach. Beautiful quote.
How do you guys think Josh Gordon will be spending his bye week?
Smoking weed.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping he's staying away from that weed. Take one eye off that kush and one eye on the film. Do not anywhere near that dank weed that you got, Josh, and focus on this week, please.
All right, so now we're moving on to our game of the week. Kyle and Jamie. Now this game will really prove can Kyle hang with the big boys, or should he be competing for the SAT?
I mean,
Something
winner.
he probably should take anyways, but
Yeah. Might help him in the long haul. I mean, Jamie needs to get to 7 wins because I would say Jamie's got one of the highest points in the league. So if he's 7-6, he's pretty much a guarantee too. Just 'cause if a lot of people tie him, he scored more points than all of us. So I mean, he's getting the tiebreaker.
his schedule isn't easy though from here on out. I mean, Kyle, you, and me. I know people want to rag on me, but like I still put up points.
Yeah.
Like, so all 3 of these games, he doesn't play one of the 3 cupcakes, basically.
Yeah, that's
how
true.
I'm looking at it.
That's true. So I mean, he needs this win. I mean, obviously, you look at his team. Adrian Peterson had a down week. Patrick Mahomes against the Rams defense. I mean, it's Kansas
See if
City.
their defense is for real.
Yeah, it's Kansas City, so I think they're going to do good. Like we said, Adam Thielen going against Chicago. I mean, it's going to be a tough week for him.
Yeah. I'm still gonna pick him over Kyle, but I would like to see Kyle put up a fight and not be a fraud.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against Jamie when he's putting up all those points. But I don't know. I'm
And
looking
like a
at.
Thursday night game on the road for Rodgers, like that's just screaming
Yeah.
like poop fest. That's just screaming like they lose like 21-14, and he throws like a pick or 2.
I was talking myself into Kyle, and I saw Calvin Ridley, and I'm picking Jamie. You never want to have Kyle Ridley as your number 1 wide receiver or number 2 wide receiver.
Right. What about you, Zach and Tyson?
I'm gonna say Jamie. Even though he's got old man Peterson in his RB2 slot. I mean, just a better team, better overall. And Kyle is starting the Rams defense, which should end up with about negative 15 points after that game. I mean, you're going against Kansas City. Are you crazy? Come on.
The Kansas City Rams over is the highest over in NFL history, and it's his highest like spread or whatever. And, like,
Do you know what it's
still gotta
at?
take
I was thinking about that earlier.
Is it 63.5? I think.
Oh,
I
man.
think it would be in the 60s.
I think I last saw it at around 63, and I'm still taking the over.
Yeah, I would probably be taking the over as well.
Like that's gonna be like 48-48 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
Tyson, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, how is Kyle good?
You know,
It
I
just
think,
have a
Number
bad
1
line.
running back is
Trust me,
58
I think
ranked
about this all the time.
his position.
I mean, I don't
Doug
think
Martin
he's
is
got
a
like a
58.
horrible lineup. LaShawn McCoy's been playing well lately. So, I mean, obviously it sucks not having him in there. He's got Aaron Rodgers. He's got Antonio Brown. Jordan Reed's still – he's not playing great this year, but he's reliable for a tight end.
Yeah, I
Go
mean, like
eight on Philly. I mean, I'd argue he's got a lot better of a quarterback.
it just drives me crazy because, makes me so mad, man.
I think he's average. I don't think he should be – I mean, I think you and Kyle could have switched records, and it would be more
It'd be okay if we switch
Kyle
records. Yeah.
6-4, yeah.
Okay, so
Well, I'm picking Jamie.
yes, I'm
'cause
guessing you're picking Jamie then.
It just doesn't make sense, man. How does he put up numbers every week?
Well, and he's one of those teams that gets lucky too, and a lot of points haven't been scored against him. A little fact right here: Zach is actually the luckiest team in our league.
Thank you, based God.
Only 832 points scored against him. The next closest is 873, and then you have Chase at like 998, and most people are in the high 900s. So Zach's been getting pretty lucky.
Yeah. Fun fact about Zach: he's 5-0 at home and 1-4 on the road. So he's a lot like the Panthers, in that at home he is on fire. On the road he plays
Different cat at home.
Yeah. You do not want to see this guy when he has the home field advantage. So that wraps up our predictions for this week. And before we go, we have a very, very serious topic here to talk about. As
Yeah,
we
I've been dying.
previously mentioned, Zach and Tyson, it's about time for you guys to take over here.
Wow.
Let us in on a little bit of.
Well, where to begin?
It's going to be hard to talk about this topic. It's really a touchy subject for a lot of people.
Yeah, and because of that, we're going to redact all the names.
No.
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 Yes, we're redacting the names. So this, and by the way, this was not me and Tyson. That we were just there for who else was doing it.
Right.
But I don't want to give away too much. Okay.
Are they in the
Zach,
seat?
how about I set it up and then you just tell the story.
Okay. Yeah, you go for it.
So
Set the scene.
it all started in middle school for me when
What?
our youth group would all take a trip to Florida for a giant conference, and it's all a great time. All the guys are having fun.
Oh, you're in that church with like 300 people, aren't you?
Well,
There weren't that
there
many.
weren't that many people.
I mean,
but-
we took a charter bus down, and it was a fun time.
Of course. And we're down there, and whenever you get a bunch of guys all in a room together, it's just everyone wants to mess with everyone else. So
Sounds like a video I watched earlier.
you watched a video with a lot of men in a house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll talk about that later. But it comes down to everyone just wants to mess with everyone. So a lot of pranks tend to be done. People freezing each other's underwear and
What does that do?
hiding. It's just fun stuff that you do to other guys. It's
Literally,
harmless.
somebody took somebody else's underwear out of their suitcase, soaked it in water, and put all of the underwear in the freezer.
Why?
What?
So it's
Dude,
just fun
it's
stuff.
just a prank. Gosh, chill,
a
dude.
prank.
It's just a prank. It's literally
Understand what
just a
that
prank. You don't
does.
need to freak out.
And it's the last night of the week. I think I'm a freshman going into sophomore year. Zach's a sophomore going into junior year. And we're all running around this giant. It's not a campsite. It's like a condo. It's like a condo. What would that be called?
Tyson, I'll take it from here.
Yeah, you just go ahead and run the story from now.
All right. Well, things
God bless.
things were really heating up. The pranks were just one-upping, and one prank after the next, and it was just getting more and more extreme. And there we are on the last night, and we're staying in these little, I guess you call them like a little villa. There were like maybe six students and 2 youth leaders per little house. It was a small house. And these houses were kind of scattered throughout this small little neighborhood. And we were out just running around. It was probably 1 a.m. And we were like, this is it, man. This is the last night. We have to leave a lasting impression on this trip. We have to finish off with the greatest prank of all time. So we're running around. We're kind of, just spitballing and brainstorming, trying to figure out what we can do.
Running from security guards.
Running from security guards and golf carts. Someone else was doing that, not us. We were not running from security. But anyhow, night's wrapping up, and we haven't really thought of anything good to do, so we're about to call the night. And then Tyson says, "Ooh, man, I really got to poop."
That's not how it went. That's not how the story goes.
All right, then what'd you say?
It's more about what you said. The other group had to go into their villa because they were getting yelled at, and we kept ringing the doorbell trying to get them to come back out. And Zach says, "Hey, we should go pee on their porch."
Yeah.
And no one else wants to, except for 2 unnamed people.
Can we please? I need to know these names.
Yeah, we need some clarity here. Zach and Tyson. So, Zach, did you want to go pee on somebody's porch? Granted,
No.
there's nothing wrong with that. Not saying I've never done that before.
No, that's disgusting. I would never do that.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I was the only other person that was comfortable doing that.
So it was you, Zach, and 2 unnamed people.
Yes.
Okay.
I really need to know these names.
So
Well, we'll tell you guys after the podcast ends.
All right.
these 2 unnamed persons run to the porch. And the first unnamed person, being about 6'3" and happened to have broken his wrist twice, pees on their porch. And as the second person, about 5'9", currently has facial hair, goes up to pee on the porch, makes the comment, "Hey, 6'3" guy, I can't pee. I have to poop too bad." Then the 6'3" person exclaims, "Why don't you just poop on their porch?"
Oh my God.
And at 1 a.m, that is an amazing idea. So he just simply runs to the top step, drops his pants, and leaves a
Leaves a poop
Pretty-
on the stoop.
Poop on the stoop.
Oh no. How big was it?
It's been said that it looked like a brick of marijuana. So take that as you just run with that. Just picture that in your head and run with it.
Run very far away. Just don't stop running. So, yeah, that's more accurate.
Wow.
Afterwards, everyone ran off giggling and woke up in the morning just distraught over the actions of the night before.
Of the unnamed man.
Of
the
the unnamed man.
The two unnamed people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's been said, we didn't actually see this part, but whoever it was, who will remain unnamed, that dropped the poop on the stoop, had to humbly recover said poop
No way.
with a doggy
No
poop
way.
bag.
Like later that night or in the morning?
It was in the morning.
So it had been sitting there.
It had been marinating in
no.
that nice South Florida humidity
Marinated
all night
a little
long.
bit.
Oh no.
Luckily, the pee had all dried, so nobody ever actually ended up finding out about that. So lucky 6'3" guy. And 6'3" guy let the 5'9" guy take the fall, even though it was totally his fault for convincing 5'9" guy to poop in the first place.
6'3" guy just does not sound like a good individual.
He's I haven't talked to him in a while, but I've heard he's really turned his life around since then.
What about 5'9" guy?
He's.
I don't know, man.
Can you confirm or deny he's still pooping on stoop?
I cannot confirm nor deny
Oh no.
how many stoops have been pooped.
Wow.
That was definitely worth the wait.
Yes. Thank you for that story.
Wow. So all these years you guys have been living with this and haven't gotten it off your chest until.
Yeah. How have you not mentioned that once?
So like
some things you just try to bury and never bring them back up again.
So when
you just flush
pick
them
up in a
away
bag
into the-
and you just throw it in the dumpster.
Did you guys talk about this behind the scenes at all, like before you even brought it up initially, or when I forgot which one of you guys said.
So Tyson brought it up.
Yeah, when Tyson first brought up Poopgate,
The
Zach,
first
did you
time it's been
instantly
talked
know?
about in years.
Did you instantly know what it was about when Tyson said Poopgate?
Was it Tyson that brought it up?
Or whichever one of you brought it up, did the other one of you instantly know what the other was talking
I
about?
think Zach brought it up, and I immediately texted him.
Yeah, I think I wanted to be on the podcast, so I was trying to make myself more marketable by having this awesome story that everyone would be interested in.
Yeah, I think I speak for everyone as we're saying this. We were very interested in Poopgate.
Yes. Thank you for this.
Well, hopefully it didn't disappoint.
No, definitely not. This is one of our best gates yet.
Yeah.
The best gates yet. That was wow. You think you know some people, but
You really do. That they hide all these years.
Hey, everybody's got a past.
everybody has a past.
That was beautiful.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for sharing that. I'm sure it wasn't easy. I'm sure it was a traumatic experience.
It feels good to finally get it out there in the open, just air it out.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to friends here. You're talking to friends, Cal's baseball coach, and Marcus Mariota. What better group of guys could you want to share that information with?
I mean, what an audience.
Any more notable listeners, Josh?
Also, we need to get back to fantasy for a second because I got a PSA I don't want the people to forget about.
Right.
All right, so this podcast was recorded early, about 6:30 on Wednesday. So this podcast will be up on Wednesday, so you'll be listening to it now. So I can confirm we are exactly 1 week away from the trade deadline. So if you got to trade, you need to get it in now.
If you want to make last-minute moves to get into the playoffs, do it now.
Those teams that are right on the bubble, Parker Heath. If you want to make a trade, one, you got to start answering people back. Two, you probably want to do it now.
Now, Heath has sleeping for the next week.
Oh yeah, he'd be sleeping, bro.
I also have a public service announcement. The Bean Boot deadline is also the 21st.
Wow.
So we're going to need to get that trade in as soon as possible.
I can't wait till that trade happens.
Yeah, that's gonna be the best trade of all time.
All right, well, that was probably our best podcast yet.
Yeah, definitely our best podcast yet.
That was by far the best one.
That was the best one. We had electric content throughout that one, boys.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being on with us this week. It was greatly appreciated. Loved hearing you guys' great insight on football-related matters and matters that involve things in the bathroom.
And Chase, I'm glad you're alive, bro.
Thank you. That means a lot to hear.
Yeah, I
Glad
think
you're
we tend
alive.
to forget that Chase actually died today.
Yeah, I mean, it was about an hour ago. I mean, I literally came back from the dead. So,
Yeah, credit to you.
All right. So, yeah, thanks for being on with us this week, and we will see all of you guys next week.
See you next week, boys.